Thor is a movie about a guy with a hammer who puts his enemies in the slammer. Now, it's not that I hate this movie, but there's just this supremely underwhelming quality to it that just prevents me from liking it. I don't know if it's just that Thor comics never appealed to me as a kid, or maybe it's just that Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk have set the bar so high, but this film just never compelled me the way its predecessors did. Thor is certainly one of the most transparent of all the Marvel movies, in that there's really no question as to why they decided to make it. But does that make this movie inherently bad? Well, let's go through it and find out. We see Thor's homeland of Asgard, where we see Thor doing things. It's not that these parts are bad, although the CGI is really distracting, but the acting here is good. I like Hannibal Lecter as Odin, and Charles from The Office as Heimdall. The Loki guy is okay as Loki, although I definitely enjoyed him much more in The Avengers, where he gets to play it much more over the top. Here, he's a bit toned down, and this movie could have used a bit more excitement. I mean, let's face it, these Asgard scenes are boring. Now, there's nothing really that bad about them, but there's nothing particularly interesting about them either. The artistic designs aren't amazing, half of it is shrouded in black most of the time, and there's really nothing relatable or likable about these characters. In fact, I believe that the best thing this movie does is take Thor away from Asgard and strip him of his powers.
I now take from you your power! In the name of my father! And his father before! I own it, all father! Cut you out!
This allows the audience to get to know him as a character before being introduced to his complex world. This is what they should have done in the first place. Did we really need to see all of this? Now, in the other Avengers movies, Robert Downey Jr. and Edward Norton had a way of captivating the audience when it came to their characters. They are both so flawlessly well cast that it's difficult for me to picture anyone else playing those roles. Chris Hemsworth seems to be taking his role seriously, but maybe not in the way that he should. Thor's behavior can almost always come off as a bit comedic, even when it's intended to be tragic. Oh no! Thor has lost his hammer! Can anyone tell me how this scene is any more meaningful than, say, this scene?
Go back to Treasure Island! Back!
Thor is basically Steve the Pirate. He's Mork from Mork and Mindy.
Fly, be free!
He's a fish out of water who stands out from everyone else because he talks and acts differently in a humorous way, based on the customs of a society that is not our own. The writers even seem to know this, which is why we get lots of scenes like this, which poke fun at the fact that Thor is not from here.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another! I need a horse.
We don't have horses, just dogs, cats, birds.
And give me one of those large enough to ride.
Is he okay?
He's fine, not injured at all. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend.
What happened?
We drank, we fought. He made his ancestors proud.
Thor, that's not how you sit in a chair. Nanu Nanu. These scenes of Thor being different from humans are some of the best scenes in the movie. But other than this and a really contrived plot about Thor needing to learn humility, there's really not a whole lot going on here. There's supposed to be this romance between Thor and Natalie Portman, but they seem to only be together because they're attracted to each other. The only memorable moments between the two of them are just the comedic ones.
Exactly.
Oh no, look out! It's a giant robot!
Go. Now, run.
This scene is the real climax of the film. Thor must fight a giant robot without his powers and without his hammer in order to save the town and the people that he has come to love. We get cool action, cool explosions, a heartfelt sacrifice, and even a reference to Iron Man.
Is that one of Stark's?
I don't know. Guy never tells me anything.
Thor's vulnerability here makes him relatable, and his sacrifice becomes all the more real. We also see the clear benefits of using practically built sets as opposed to the lame CGI ones from Asgard. After this fight, Thor now has his powers and his hammer back, so he goes home to Asgard to fight Loki, and yeah, we're back to the problem at the beginning of the movie. Unexciting CGI nonsense. The tragedy at the end of the movie is supposed to be that Thor and Natalie Portman will never see each other again because Thor's only means of traveling back to Earth has now been destroyed. Okay. But it's not like we feel bad for him. Their romance was lame. The film tries to make us sympathize with Thor and Natalie Portman as if their love was this great love that will echo through the ages, but it wasn't, so we don't care. Still, that's not to say that this film is all bad. We do have a lot of entertaining bits of Thor being on Earth, Thor getting hit by a car, Thor drinking at the bar. It's all good stuff. There's even a nice tie-in with Iron Man 2 and later with Avengers, being able to see characters like Hawkeye, Loki, and Agent Coulson. But overall, this movie's greatest weakness is that it feels like it's trying not to captivate me into the story. It simply feels like an introduction to some new characters, and we're not going to be able to see the real story until we get to the Avengers. Whereas Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk succeed as individual movies with individual stories, Thor seems to be nothing more than a stepping stone to something greater. It's a movie about Thor, and that's about it. Thanks for watching this Video Boys review. Be sure and look out for these other coming videos too. Coming soon to videoboysreviews.com.